Can you hear me?
Hello and welcome back to the Drummergy Podcast, episode 140. 140. And guess what? Today, the producer has a microphone. So say hello, Mrs. Producer.
Can you hear me?
So we have our off-screen personality live and in the control room. And we're both waking up. Right, Mrs. Producer?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. There's so much stuff going on, and trying to just keep it all in line can be a challenge. But we got stuff to talk about today. You saw in the picture for today's show that we have 4 things. We have Josh Freese, we have Jar Jar Binks, we have a chimpanzee, and a toddler drummer. And what do all those things have in common? What do you think they have in common? I know the answer to this. And the producer knows the answer to this because she's the one that researched it. They are all drummers. Can you believe that? Yeah. We'll get into that here in a moment. Let's see. It's been just over a year now since I broke my leg. I broke my leg August 9th of 2024. Today is the 19th. So I was in Indianapolis, Indiana, just over a week ago for Drum Corps finals and enjoying that, and went back to the scene of the accident and got some more pictures and those kind of things. But I think most of you know that 3 weeks ago, I fell here in the studio and wrecked my leg again. And it's just now starting to feel pretty good after all of that. So it's time to get back out and get some walking going and get that leg moving. It's feeling pretty good. Still weak, but man, this recovery process, as you guys know, has been taking a long, long time. So, but it is getting better. It's getting better. And I love that. It's not, I can drum fine, which is great. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else to add to that at the moment. Okay, silly holidays. We like to talk about the silly holidays as we get this ball rolling here. Let's see. It's National Potato Day. How appropriate that we live here in Idaho and it's National Potato Day. And there's so many things that you can make with potatoes, right? Especially delicious French fries.
Yeah.
And it's also National Soft Serve Ice Cream Day.
There you go.
Now here's a crazy thing, producer. You'll remember. So the Idaho Fair, is it called the Idaho Fair?
The Western Idaho Fair.
Western Idaho Fair is in full swing, and at the fair, they make what's called the ice cream potato. Yeah. So it's this ice cream shaped potato looking thing that has is it powdered chocolate?
It's cocoa.
Yeah. And so it looks like a potato. Excuse me, it looks like a potato.
Yeah, they haven't molded like a baked potato that's split open. The outside's got the cocoa.
Yeah. And it's delicious.
And the sour cream is whipped cream.
Sour cream is whipped cream. And it only costs like $13 because it's at the fair.
Well, the last time I was there, it was like $5, but that's been a long, long time ago.
Yeah. So we have not attended the fair in the last few years. So I'm sure the price is probably not far off being $13 for the potato ice cream. So how appropriate that today is National Potato Day and National Soft Serve Ice Cream Day. It is also World Photography Day. And any of us that are drummers out there, when people try to take our pictures and we're in motion, we just look like a blurry mess. That's pretty true. And the producer has been taking pictures of me playing drums for 30 years, and sometimes she gets lucky and gets a good one. Good morning, Gary Tackett. Gary is here. Woohoo!
Good morning, Gary.
Yeah. Now, see, James is like a mic for Mary. Was that James's suggestion to begin with?
I don't remember.
I think that it was. I told Mary last night, I said, if we don't get you a microphone on James Harrison is going to let us know. Yes. So there we go. Making progress, making strides forward. That's how that's working. Yeah. Seal says we're just a smear. Exactly. Take a picture of us and it just looks like a blurry mess. Now, today is also Talk Like Jar Jar Binks Day. How ridiculous is that? See, Gary likes the microphone too, Mrs. Producer.
Misa thinks it's pretty funny.
What'd you say?
Misa thinks it's pretty funny.
Misa thinks it's pretty funny. Oh, I think that Jar Jar Binks is probably the worst character that has ever been in Star Wars. Yeah. I think he just rubbed people the wrong way. For whoever's idea that was, I think that was terrible. But in a quick little Google search, the guy who voiced Jar Jar Binks, his name is Ahmed Best. He's from New Jersey. He's the same age as me, but he attended. Where'd it go? It was here 2 seconds ago. Dang it. There it is. He studied percussion at the Manhattan School of Music. So Jar Jar Binks, ladies and gentlemen, is a drummer. So there's the picture of Jar Jar Binks in the thumbnail for today showed like what do these four people or four things have in common? Well, Jar Jar Binks went to Manhattan School of Music. How would you like to have that in your resume? I'm a drummer and I'm the voice of Jar Jar Binks.
You're supposed to say that like Jar Jar Binks.
Say again?
It's International Talk Like Jar Jar Binks Day, so you need to at least try.
Did you say I need to try?
Try to talk like Jar Jar Binks. Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Well, I mean, it is.
Misa thinks that's a bad idea. Chip Ritter's here. Chip, dude, I saw that you were live like 4 hours ago. 4 hours. That's like 3 a.m., Chip. Chip, could you not sleep? Yet you went.
Yeah, I think I was awake at that time too.
Now I think I should probably be wearing headphones so I can hear what you're saying.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I might have to put those on. See, evolution of the show here in progress as we're speaking right now. Yeah, Talk Like Jar Jar Binks Day. I don't know if you want to get fired from your band, then go ahead and talk like Jar Jar Binks. So there we go. All right, moving onward. I had no idea what I was going to talk about today. Oh, Chip says, can I post a link to my drum solo contest? Yes, sir. Drop that in the comments, man. I think I saw Tommy Lee also talking about the drum solo contest, mentioning Chip Ritter. So, yeah, man, happy to help. There it is. There's the link, ladies and gentlemen. Check out Chip Ritter's drum solo contest. And if you got Tommy Lee talking about it, you know that it's pretty legit. It's legit. Not that Chip needs Tommy's help, but that's good company. That's good company right there.
Hello, Jared.
Jared Halleck is here, my buddy Jared. Speaking of Jared, I got done teaching. No. I got done with rehearsal last night with Midline. Grab my phone. I've got 49.
It was 59, Fred.
59. Thank you. 59 new text messages, all from Jared and Mary. Now, this is where you should just have a phone call conversation because it would be so much easier. However, the producer with getting some advice from our buddy Jared is starting to work on getting to where you can get Fred Rock and Drummergy merch directly from my website.
Yeah.
So we're going to have all sorts of very cool items available in the world of cool hats, shirts, hoodies. 59 text messages, Chip. That's just out of control, completely off the rails.
Well, what you don't realize is that I told him, hey, Fred's having practice right now, so this is probably blowing up his phone. So I'm just going to switch over to just you and me. And so then we continue the conversation. So I don't even know how many more messages.
I think girls do that. I think girls have this thing where they're just lightning quick with their thumb. I'm a single thumb texting guy, so I don't think that I'm slow, but I'm just like this when I text, right?
Yeah, but I do the voice to text.
They're like
I do the voice to text. So
Thomas is here, and Thomas is asking, when is Midline getting new shirts?
Oh.
Thomas, we had new shirts at our last show.
Oh,
we had new shirts there. They came out awesome. They're kind of like a black on black with some little silver highlights. They're probably my favorite shirt that we've ever had.
I don't know that I've seen them. Have I seen
printed.
them?
So I do have them here.
Where are they?
At the studio, and they're $30. They're $30.
Where are they?
Brian is here. He says, hi, gang. This is very early. We need coffee. Yeah, Brian, check it. I got the coffee happening, man. What'd you say?
I've said all sorts of stuff.
I'm gonna have to put headphones on. You know what? Did you want to? No, I probably not necessary.
Where's the?
I was gonna. The shirts are in a bin by the shelves by the kitchen table. Thomas, Mary is gonna grab a shirt so that you can see what they look like, and I'm gonna have to wear these, I think, when she comes back, so I can actually hear her. Because see, the producer is producing me. That's how that's working. Yeah. So, talking to text never works in my favor either, James. It's I had an episode of this show, I think somewhere in the episode 40 region, and I said when talk to text goes bald instead of bad. I've had, and you never notice the problem until after it's sent, and then you can't grab it and take it back. You can't fix it. So I'm far more successful if I just type it out, and it takes less time.
Did you sell them all? Because I don't see any black on black.
They're in the box. There's a cardboard box full of shirts, and then there's a clear tub with the older ones.
Well, here's the clear tub.
Oh, good grief. So, Thomas, you probably saw, let's see, she's unloading Midline merchandise in my lap. So we had this one. Let's see. This is the gray with the silver logo with the red letters. Then we had, I think this might be the last star one that we have. Kind of the Hollywood Walk of Fame Midline shirt. But one that stays true and popular all the time is this first one I showed you that has the long-standing Midline logo on it. And here she comes with the new one, Thomas. Here it comes. Dun 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 dun. Oh, drum roll.
Lisa thinks this is a cool shirt.
These are pretty awesome. These are pretty awesome. Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah, these are probably the nicest.
It's a soft t-shirt too.
It's soft, and this print on here is like in the material. It doesn't feel like an iron on or anything like that. So these are the highest quality items we've had in a long time, maybe ever. Would you say ever? Probably.
Sure.
Yeah, so $30.
Okay, put your headphones on.
All right, I'm putting my headphones on. You see, when you first want to get her part of the show, she's like, yeah, and then as soon as she's part of it, she's ruling the roost here, so to speak. Okay, there we go. This is a little different, but we're gonna roll with it. Kendall, you did miss. I'll catch you up really fast, Kendall. So today is Talk Like Jar Jar Binks Day, and Jar Jar Binks, the actor, his name is Ahmed Best, went to Manhattan School of Music for percussion, so he's a drummer. Matt Muckle is here. You're midline and I'm midlife. Hope you're feeling well, Fred Fisher. Thanks, Matt. Dude. So,
and it's International Jar Jar Binks. Talk Like Jar Jar Binks Day.
Exactly. That's for Kindle there.
Yeah.
Matt. So, Matt, I just told him it was 3 weeks ago when I fell out here in the studio and I twisted my leg up underneath me, and Matt Muckle was the first buddy that called me and said, dude, are you okay? and you know what? And he prayed for me over the phone, and it was super awesome. And Matt, my leg is feeling really, really good. And I'm getting around really well. So I think I'm back on track. Kendall says he will not comply with that national holiday, and I don't blame you, dude. I tried to say something in like Jar Jar Binks, and it sounded really stupid, which means that I probably sounded exactly like him.
Yeah,
which is just completely out of control, just so dumb. Okay, moving forward.
Seal was asking if you had stickers made.
Not
yet.
We don't have stickers. This is where we're lacking in the midline merch department. We haven't been playing very many shows, so we're not super active, and it's my heart really wants to have like a CD to sell. But I know if we had CDs to sell, we would just store them forever, probably.
Well, the thing now is records. Yeah,
so getting vinyl, that would be super cool to get a vinyl. I know that some bands do this, but we could have this would be like borderline Spinal Tap or midline or a Metallica Black Album, but maybe we need to get an album that looks exactly like this.
Yeah. Just has that big.
But a lot of bands when they get vinyl printed and they sell it at their merch table, it comes with like a thumb drive or something like that, where they can just download the music right to the computer. But you also get the physical copy to look at all our pretty faces. So there you go. Kendall says Rule Studios for merch. I could introduce you. There you go, producer. There's a connection right there.
All right.
Write it down. Put that in your list of things to do. Since you're in the world of merch.
That's local. Yeah, okay.
It's local?
Yeah.
Oh. Kendall has his finger on the pulse, and we appreciate that. All right, so going to there's been like a lot of drummers leaving bands lately, and I think most of us that are watching this don't live under a rock. So we know that that Matt Cameron recently stepped down from playing drums for Pearl Jam, and Matt Cameron's obviously an amazing drummer. A lot of us know him from his work with Soundgarden, and then Temple of the Dog. He's got deep connections with all those bands from Seattle. Amazing drummer. And so when somebody leaves a band, like he was in the band for 27 years, it looks like. And then of course I got people that start messaging me. I'm like, dude, did you hear Matt Cameron quit Pearl Jam? Now's your chance. I love getting those messages because you kind of get your hopes up a little bit, but nobody in the Pearl Jam camp knows who I am, or the Foo Fighters for that matter. It's not a question of can I play those songs or not. It's a question of relationships. And so because they don't know me or aware of me. And even if they did, would I still be a good fit? I don't know. But I think when you get in the circle and you become friends with those people, then you find out like, oh, does it make sense to be in that band or not? So like in my fantasy world, I'd be like, oh, I'd love to play in the Foo Fighters, or I'd love to play in Pearl Jam. But the number one thing is they don't know who I am or any of that stuff. So it's not really a question of ability. It's a question of that relationship. So,
well, maybe you need to figure out how to get them to know who you are.
Yeah. And I'm working on those things, and it takes time for that to develop. So, excuse me.
Yeah. When I met you, I remember one of the first things you said to me is, do you like Pearl Jam? Have you heard of Pearl Jam? Everything was Pearl Jam. I'm like,
Well, there's a difference in being a fan of the band and being a friend of the band.
Well, and I was familiar with Nirvana, but Pearl Jam wasn't as big as Nirvana at that point, if I remember right. But, you were just all about Pearl Jam.
Well, I never really got on board with the Nirvana train. So I had their album, their second one. What is it called? Somebody can help me with it. Has the naked baby in the swimming pool. That's the album I had. That had Teen Spirit on it. I didn't have the album before that. I did get was it called Heart Shaped Box, the second one, or technically their third album, I think. I had that one as well. Seal says it's all about the people. You put yourself out there. You need a chatty patty like myself. Yeah, I'm making some friends with some people here and there, in networking, and I think it's just a matter of time now before something lines up. I've come up in conversation with other bands before, which is way more advanced or further along the trail than I thought possible. So, yeah, I think it's just keep networking with those people in the in those circles. Blue Flashes says, "Good morning, Rockstar." Good morning to you. Blue Flashes is here. He comes and goes, and it's always exciting when he's here. So going back to, so I get these questions frequently from my drum students, like when a drummer leaves the band and what my thoughts and opinions might be about why that happened. And just yesterday, I had this discussion with the recent letting go of Josh Freese from the Foo Fighters. And I said, basically it comes down to, we know what's happening only based on what they've allowed us to know what's happening, either through Josh Freese's post and the Foo Fighters being hush hush. So I was just thinking back, like when Taylor Hawkins died, then I had all these people messaging me like, now's your chance. Now, what do you mean now's my chance? I appreciate the sentiment, I guess, but again, the fact remains that I'm not in the friend circle of that. But could you imagine this discussion I had with my student yesterday is that the pressure that would be on an unknown drummer who would step into a Taylor Hawkins shoes to play with the Foo Fighters, the amount of judgment and ridicule that would probably be bestowed upon a drummer like that, the microscope that person would be under. So the Foo Fighters getting a drummer that already had a name that stood alone, like a Josh Freese, would make sense because Josh Freese already has a fan base, basically, because of all the work he's done with other bands. And so he joining the Foo Fighters kind of made sense. Like he could carry that torch and not have people like constantly comparing him because he was already a really well-known drummer himself. And yeah, nobody's going to be Taylor Hawkins. Nobody's going to be Dave Grohl. Everybody's going to be their own personality. But my point being is that Josh Freese already had a name for himself. So they can't go, well, this imposter syndrome kind of scenario or anything like that. Now, then, so that was like what, 2 years or so that he was with the band. And then as far as we know, he got an email from their management. So I told my student, I said, okay, I think we want to look at Dave Grohl as like, Dave Grohl's one of us. He's one of the people, right? And wouldn't Josh Freese be deserving of a personal phone call from Dave saying, hey, we're going to do something else in this other direction or whatever that might be? I think we probably perceive it like that's how it should be. But on the other hand, you're talking about a huge major corporation now with the Foo Fighters and management and money and all of those things. And so probably from a legality standpoint that they would have to do it that way, or it would be in their best interest to do it that way.
I don't know.
So that's kind of my position on that, is that they needed to dot all their I's and cross all their T's. And so from our perspective, that might seem like kind of a crummy way to handle things. Now, we don't know. Like I said, we're only being shown what we're allowed to see. So maybe there has been phone calls. I don't know. But then you have, if I'm saying his name correctly, Elin Rubin from Nine Inch Nails is now the new drummer for Foo Fighters, and Josh Freese is going to Nine Inch Nails. So they're having this little drummer swap. And I think that sort of happened with some people from the Rob Zombie camp and the Marilyn Manson camp as well, where I know that Ginger Fish was the drummer for Marilyn Manson, and now he's the drummer for Rob Zombie. And they've had some other switcheroos like that. So you just never know, right? And I'm not super familiar with Elin Rubin's body of work. I'm more familiar with Josh Freese. Let's see. Elon played with Paramore, Angels and Airwaves, and has his own solo stuff that he does. He's been inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by the time he was 35. So it'll be interesting to see him going, like, stylistically going from Nine Inch Nails, which is this kind of industrial metal thing, back to a Foo Fighters big arena rock kind of a deal. But don't you think that whoever's drumming has a lot to do with how the band sounds? So even though they're playing the same songs, it's like you have this influence injected into those songs. For example, so I'm a hard rock, borderline metal kind of drummer guy, and that's my love. But then I play with Cliff Miller, which is this country Americana kind of way of playing. And I've really had over it's been like 6 years I've been doing that with Cliff, and still in all the mix of all of that, I'm still like trying to like how to be a better drummer for that style of music, because I can so easily lean to my hard rock metal tendencies. Right? But maybe that's the little flavor that works, especially with Cliff's original music, is that I have that little bit of a sharp edge to my playing, if you will, that's coming through in that. So let's see. Seal says Foo Fighters only need a single member. It could be like Alda Nova. Seal, do you mean that like Foo Fighters just only need Dave Grohl and then whoever everybody else is in the band? Is that what you're getting at there?
Probably, because he's the voice.
Yeah. Well, and I believe too, Mr. Producer, that it's my understanding that Dave Grohl played all the instruments and sang, at least on the first Foo Fighters record. I don't know how hands-on he was beyond that, but James says, I think the culture is now texting or emailing over calling, regardless of reasons, possibly to have it in writing. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
like I said, they had to dot all of their I's and cross all their T's in all of that. Seal says metal is always good for country.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was just gonna say, I mean, if Beyonce can do country, and you've got bro country and all that, they need metal country.
Yeah. I
Heavy
think
country.
I think that there's been so many subgenres of music. It just it's kind of lost in this sea of I don't even know how to identify some of these things, and I personally have a hard time thinking about Beyonce as a country artist, because when I listen to that, it's not what I personally consider to be country. Now there might be millions of people that are going to disagree with me, and it's shown because of her success with that. Had Beyonce not already had a name for herself, if nobody knew who Beyonce was before that moment, and then she came out with this, I don't know if it would have had the same acceptance without her prior.
The rest of her album doesn't sound anything like the cowboy song, so it sounds like her normal stuff.
Oh, it does. So
most of it, yeah.
What's she has like a name for herself for this, and I don't remember what it is. Do you know?
No.
She's not going by Beyonce. It's Cowboy Carter or something like that.
Oh, something like that.
Is that right?
Something
I think I'm
like
right.
that. I don't know.
So you have Matt Cameron's gone from Pearl Jam. I don't know what's going to happen with Pearl Jam. And typically by the time the public is even aware that a drummer has left a band, the band already has something else figured out.
Yeah.
Thomas says, I'm still waiting for a Fred and Mary band. Now, Mary's band just did a double header. They played Friday night and Saturday night here in town at two different places. And apparently Saturday night, when Mary was playing, I was playing it with Cliff out past Mountain Home for this Sunflower Festival thing. But Mary texted me and said, some guy walked right up to Jeff and said, hey, Fred, you probably don't remember me. And Jeff says, you're right. I don't remember you because I'm not Fred. So I think people knowing that being married to a drummer, a lot of times assume that I'm Jeff or that Jeff is me, which is also interesting because people get my name wrong all the time. I could be ordering coffee at Starbucks and they'll say, can I get your name? And I'll say Fred. And then you see them writing on the cup, right? And then when your order's ready, they'll say Jeff
or Brad.
Jeff or Brad. They never, I just think subconsciously they say, there's no way this guy's name is Fred. And so then they just write Jeff or Brad on that. So being that Mary's drummer's name is Jeff, it seems like it all kind of makes sense in some ridiculous way.
It was really funny.
Seal says, yes, from my crossing, he is a narcissist, kind of like John Mellencamp, who has never had band members. He just hires musicians. In reference to Dave Grohl, I believe is that Seal's answering my earlier question there. Yeah. I can't speak personally, but I could see that probably being the case. Just that's what I would gather from my observations. But I started mentioning all the different drummers that have left. So Nico McBrain leaving Iron Maiden. Now, understandably, Nico's probably, I don't know, how old is Nico McBrain? Can you find that out, Mrs. Producer? Do a little quick Google search on how old he is from
What's
Iron
his last
Maiden.
name?
Nico McBrain. So Nico, like our friend Nico.
Yeah.
And then McBrain, or drummer for Iron Maiden.
Oh, he is.
How old is he?
He's 73.
Okay, so he's the same age as my dad. He's probably tired of touring and doing the thing. So that to me makes sense. Like, he's like tapping out. He doesn't want to continue. He for whatever reason, maybe his body might not be into it, and he's centuries old. whatever. So that kind of makes sense. But then somewhere around the same time, Shannon Larkin left Godsmack, and that was another one where I suddenly had people in my circle saying, "Hey, this is management. You should get a hold of them," and so on. Which I did. I did send them my information. So, that's another situation where it's like, yeah, it's not a matter of ability. It's a matter of actually knowing them or them knowing me. Thomas is asking, have you and Mary heard the band Gunship? I have not. Producer, have you heard of the band Gunship? Well,
are they metal country?
James says Nico left after suffering a stroke and didn't feel he could perform at his former level. Well, there you go. Yeah, see, I think when you're talking about people that are older like that, they're going to have things like that come along. And now I don't know. I guess I would assume that if that had not happened to Nico, he would probably just be in it until the whole thing came to a stop. I don't know. I was watching, I like to watch Billy Corgan's podcast called The Magnificent Others, and he had Paul Stanley from Kiss on there, and he kind of asked him about, like, how many times did Kiss say this was their last tour, and then they would come back. And Paul kind of said, well, when you're in that moment, you think, like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I've had enough. And then when it's over, part of you starts missing that. And I don't think it's a question of money necessarily. Like, oh, I'm running out of my millions of dollars. I need some more millions of dollars. Could that be the case? I guess possibly, but I don't think that's the driving force. Brian says, I didn't know Shannon left. I think some of these folks like Matt and Shannon are probably just tired, ready to do something else. Yeah, you're probably right there, Brian. And I'm pretty sure that Shannon Larkin and Sully Erna both posted, like, hey, there's no ill will here. There was no drama. There's no underlying thing to this. It's just, yeah, I think Brian's right on track with, like, Shannon's just probably tired of doing it, and probably the same with Matt. Like, I bet Matt Cameron's probably 10 years older than me. I'm 53, so I'm guessing that he's probably in his early 60s and doing that since he was a teenager. So he's probably got
it. Yeah, it just says a desire to prioritize his personal life and pursue other creative endeavors.
Yeah, and all of us who are musicians who have done any kind of amount of touring or things like that, traveling. That can be just exhausting in and of itself. And then you just add in playing music on top, which I love doing, by the way, but you're not home. So they've spent their life away from home and now they want to be at home. And I can't fault them for that.
Oh.
I've been at home a long time. I'm ready to not be at home. So in steps Fred Fisher. So I got these notes that the producer made for me. Here's one that I thought was interesting is Chris Hemsworth, the actor who played Thor, learned how to play drums for his new show called Limitless, Live Better Now. And it said he described his first drumming attempt as being painful. And then there was, like, this little joke, which is exactly how I described my first paradiddles. That's a ridiculous joke. But here's something that I think is interesting is that Chris Hemsworth ended up playing live with Ed Sheeran in front of 70,000 people, and it said, imagine your first recital being Wembley Stadium.
Oh my gosh.
Well, if Chris Hemsworth didn't have the name Chris Hemsworth, the likelihood of him playing with Ed Sheeran in front of 70,000 people is not. I'm not faulting Chris Hemsworth for all his work that he's done to be able to do that, but I'm just saying he has a name, and so through that you can be friends with whoever you want to be, right?
Sure.
Watch what you say. Mary is listening. Yep. Well, she's in the other room, so I'm out of striking distance, Seal. I'm out of striking distance. Now I can't. I could. My leg is feeling pretty good, but I cannot yet run, so I'm gonna have to hobble really fast. So Chris Helmsworth said that drumming helps keep his brain sharp, and I think that's really, really true.
Well, learning any instrument, right?
Yes. I would think that would be the case.
You're using all your limbs with drumming.
So
I can see how that would keep your mind sharp.
Yep, you're using 4-limb independence with drumming. There's some math involved and some time keeping, and so that's my version of Sudoku. Did I say that right? Or crossword puzzles?
Sure. Okay.
And I think just being in a constant flow of teaching and teaching other drummers how to think and play, that helps my brain too. So yeah, Chris Helms was right on track with that. Great stress relief, focus. It's a workout for your brain and body. So those are all really, really good things. Seal says, well, it's always when you least expect it, dude. Yeah. So here's another thing that Mary likes to do. Uh-oh. I'll go use the bathroom, and then as I'm coming out and the room is dark, she'll be hiding with their...
I'm not. No.
Oh yes.
No, I'm not hiding. I'm just standing there
in
waiting
the dark.
for you to come out.
She's standing there in the dark with her camera going to watch me have a little chicken kicking moment where she's freaking me out because she scared the crap out of me. I'm a very jumpy person. Like when somebody scares me, it's easy to do. So yeah, she's gonna get a punch too.
I have a whole album of you getting scared.
She does.
And your feet.
Oh, let's leave the feet out of the... I hate feet.
Videos
I am not a feet person. Okay. All right, so we went down to Chris Helmsworth.
Well, did you see what his show is about?
I did not. What is his show about?
Well, I just lost it. It looks like it's about health.
About health?
Yeah.
Oh.
So hold on a second.
It's called Limitless. Live Better Now.
Yeah. So
I only know the name. I don't know what it's about.
I tried clicking on something and it took me into Disney, but he takes on 3 epic challenges to explore science-backed ways to improve our health. He learned drums for brain boosting, surprise stadium, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, and something to do with dealing with chronic back pain.
So, well, we got to watch it then.
Yeah.
We got to check it out.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. And then, so there's some of our connection is with Jar Jar Binks, Josh Freese. Now let's go to chimpanzees. What the?
No. Do the toddler next.
The toddler
because
next?
Then you'll just be going backwards and backwards.
I'm just going down the list that you created.
I know, but do the toddler next.
Oh my gosh. Toddler. This is what see?
It makes more sense.
The passenger is always grabbing the steering wheel, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so the toddler one, if you're paying attention to social media, recently there's been these reels of this toddler kid playing drums. Really, really, really good. So the internet says his name is Colum.
I don't know how you say it.
And he's 19 months old, and he's been viral on TikTok and for drumming and not just, it's very cute. Yes. But he's not just banging on pots and pans. He's like, has timing. He's got some groove and I think that I saw one reel where it showed him like really, really little, and he's drumming in time with like spoons or something in his high chair. And then as he got a little bit bigger into like a little electronic drum kit and actually keeping some time and playing some beats. It's not just cute, it's really, really impressive. And it's like every once in a while, something like this happens where a kid has just got a gift for that, and it's mind blowing. And he's got over 100 million views and counting on TikTok and Instagram and things like that. And so that's a good reminder. And like, why did we start drumming in the first place? Because we thought it was cool, or it looked cool, or it looked fun, and we just did it because it was fun. And same with me. I did it because I saw a friend of mine playing drums, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And it was like the Trix rabbit with his eyes spiraling in, just like it was under hypnosis or something. And I just wasn't going to let it go. And it was so fun. And once I had sticks in my hand and you're hitting something and you're making a sound, it not only felt good to hit something, not like out of anger, but you would hit something and get this sound, this feedback of this sound coming to your ears. And it was really enjoyable. And so you kind of live in that high, right, of that enjoyment, that endorphin rush of playing music. And that's what drove me to play drums. It wasn't, I was thinking, well, someday I'm going to support my family through drumsticks, or I want to be a rock star. That was like, that was never a thought in my mind. It was just, I really, really enjoyed drumming. And here's a kid who has this innate ability to be able to play. It'll be interesting to see how that goes and where that develops.
Well, it seems like all little kids do the pots and pans thing.
Sure.
And end up with a little,
yeah, right?
A lot of them end up with the little toy drum set thing.
Yeah.
It seems like it's just a natural, I don't know, like original instrument, original type. Like we have rhythm ingrained in us somehow.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah,
it seems like a natural thing to do.
Well, so Bart Robley has a book called The Rhythmic Journey, and he actually talks specifically about what we're talking about right now. Is like rhythm exists in everything that we do. Like our breathing in and out has a rhythm to it. Our heart beating has a rhythm to it. It's like we're born into this rhythmic environment. You could even say like weather has a rhythm to it, right? And there's a cycle to the seasons and all of that. So that would make sense. That rhythm is so ingrained in us from the moment we're born. And so that just goes to show, like, the study here about chimpanzees, where chimpanzees were recently found that they could drum rhythmically, and they could keep a strict, steady beat, and others could have like a swing to the rhythm. And so basically chimpanzees invented jazz, right? That's kind of organized chaos of noise. But maybe it's not just culture, it's in our DNA, which, if somebody tells you that playing drums is too primitive, well,
yes.
Are you a chimpanzee? It's a prehistoric groove. Right.
Now let's get down to the zoo and find the chimps and throw a little drum in there and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I think there was a video also floating around for a while where a guy was drumming, and on the other side of the fence was an elephant, and the elephant stuck his trunk through the fence and was smacking away at the drum rhythmically. So it's not just people, it's not just chimpanzees, it's elephants, which just goes back to like Bart Robley's point of like rhythm is in every single thing. Yeah. We just got to tap into that, right?
Tappy tap.
Tappy tap. Just tap, tap, taparoo. Has anybody seen Happy Gilmore 2?
I loved it.
Did you?
Yes.
It was okay.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
Sometimes, these sequels, they lean too heavy on the one-liners and jokes from the previous movie, which Happy Gilmore 2 to me had a lot of that in it. And it was like, man, that was great the first time. Like, don't you have something new for the second one? Seal says everything is a drum, just need a way to make the rhythm and sound out of it. Yeah. Well, how many of us are driving our car and we're tapping along on the dash? I haven't done this for a while, but I was in this. See, Thomas says it was okay. I had this habit for so long when I turned my turn signal on and you would hear the ding, 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 ding. So that would get in my head for that 45 seconds or so that you're waiting for the light. It'd start playing counter rhythms to that. Or you would look at like the little arrows flashing on your dash, right? And you're looking at the car blinker, but they seem like they're in time and they start kind of going like this. And then you're like waiting for them to slowly catch back up to where they're in sync again. It's like that car's signal relay is a little bit faster than mine. And I would just like be so absorbed into watching that. I haven't done that in a long time, but now that I mention it, it seems like it's probably going to be a thing again. Thomas says, oh my gosh, I do that too. Yeah. Yeah, I think even if you're not a drummer, you start seeing and hearing these different things that are going and you start locking in with those. Chris Widdison says, I talked to Jeff and Fred Saturday night. Now I am hoping I called them the correct names.
That's hilarious.
See, Thomas says, I try and do a count for that. Yeah, it just means that drums are on your mind, Thomas, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I'll tap it out on my hand with 5 fingers. And then it drives me nuts because I'm off because it's 5 fingers and not 4.
Oh, you could count in 5/4.
I know, but it bugs me because the one doesn't come back to the thumb. The one is on a new one.
Seal says, I love you, Fred. You used your turn signal in Idaho. I thought that was the ejection lever for your seat. Well, I think some people probably think that way. I mean, Mary and I were just behind a Tesla car yesterday or the day before, and they just turned, and she's like, it's too bad that fancy new car doesn't have a turn signal. Yeah. So let me know that they're slowing down and turning.
Yeah.
Well, we can't all be perfect. I
was behind a car yesterday where the brake lights on either side of the car in the back were not working, but the one on top of the window.
Oh, the one in the middle?
Yeah, that one was working.
There you go. That's all you need.
Yeah, well, I would have preferred having the other 2 going also.
Let's see, did we get all 4? We got the toddler, right? Yeah. Who's making big strides. It'll be interesting to see like where that kid goes over the next few years. Tony Royster Jr., that's his name. He was kind of like this prodigy drummer, young kid. And I think he was like on some of the daytime talk shows and some of the late night talk shows doing drum solo stuff. And then now he's a full grown man, of course, and he's still just this monster drummer. Gary says, you should reach out to my buddy Mark Beckett in Nashville, Barry Bucket's son. He is the house drummer at the Opry, but has done all of Kenny Chesty's albums, Michael McDonald, etc. Yes, Gary, this is why you and I and the producer need to jump on an airplane and go to Nashville. Let's we got to see if we can make that happen this fall somehow.
Yeah. Got to
do it. I got to get some in-person time with these people. And Gary's my ticket. We're going to change Gary's name from Gary Tackett to Gary Ticket.
Oh my gosh.
Gary says, set the date.
Gary, you played at Maddie's just the other day. How'd that go?
Yeah. Did Gary play before you?
No, he was he was day after me.
Oh, so he played Saturday night.
Or maybe he was Sunday.
I will be playing with Gary Tackett on September 19th at High Desert Harley Davidson, I believe. I believe that is the case.
Oh.
Gary says Larry Jacket.
Larry Jacket.
I'm sure you've been called that, or was that your hotel name, Gary? Was that the name you checked in under?
Careful when you go.
Maddie's was slow on Sunday, he says.
Aw.
Ah, man. Let's see. So we talked about the Toddler Drummer, and then talked about chimpanzees. We talked about Jar Jar Binks, the actor who voiced him, went to the Manhattan School of Music for percussion, and we talked about Josh Freese. So those four things in common, the thing they had, blah, 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 get my words in the right order. Those four people having four things have in common: drumming. So there you go. There you go. Took the ends, put them together, and tied them up. Wow. Right? Or the four ends.
Sure.
Now I feel like I'm digging myself a hole. So there you have it with those things. I think it's really interesting when just going back for a moment, when I get in these conversations with my students about what my thoughts and opinions are, like when somebody leaves a band, and like what might be going through everybody's mind in that moment. Have I ever been fired from a band? Yes. Only one time that I can think of off the top of my head. And in the moment that happened, I sort of, oh yeah, James says Eloy Casagrande, I think that's how you say it, was another prodigy drummer, and he is now and he won Modern Drummer's Search as a young kid, but he's also the drummer for Slipknot now. That was another drummer change where Jay Weinberg was out of the band and now Eloy is in there. Now that is a gig that I could not do. I do not have the skills to play in Slipknot. That would be a different Fred Fisher.
Wow.
I can't play double bass that fast, or the blast beats, or and I guess secondly, it doesn't interest me that much. I can appreciate Slipknot for what it is, but it's just, that's a different animal. Thomas says, have you ever quit a band because they didn't live up to your expectations? I think in that situation specifically, Thomas, that was been so long ago that like the whole band just kind of fell apart. It wasn't I left and then the band fell apart. It was just like it all kind of crumbled because nobody had their stuff together. So I don't want to say I necessarily live in a land where I'm choosy, but I have my projects that I'm part of that I really, really love. And so I guess unless the situation is at that same level or the next step up, I guess for me, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I get asked frequently if I'm available to start a band or fill in for a band or whatever. And I just don't have the time. It's a matter of time more than anything. But yeah, I had started to mention I had been fired from a band before, sort of saw the writing on the wall as it was coming, but it was in a situation where I was part of building that thing and then was let go. So in that moment, it really upset me. I wasn't excited about suddenly not having that gig anymore. And it did take some time and to get some distance from it, to go, that was one of the better things that happened to me, was to not be in that situation anymore, because it opened up the door to these other opportunities that I've had and much more fulfilling stuff to do. So Yeah, that's what's worked for me. Gary says I was fired from a major country star's band for wearing my boots on his bus. They had a no shoe rule on the bus, huh, Gary?
Wow.
Wow.
Just because he didn't want shoes on the bus, or what was the reason for that?
Well, that's what I'm gathering. I was fired from a major country star's band for wearing my boots on his bus.
What does the driver wear?
I don't know, but he's the driver. I guess if you fire the driver, then you're kind of stuck.
Well, you're kind of stuck without your guitar player too, aren't you?
Yeah, you just pick up another guitar player at the next
geez.
corner on the street, right, Gary?
Gosh. That's crazy.
But I think to Gary's point is you can be let go for any number of reasons, from the ridiculous to like something that's a major disruption to the band. So you better just be, have all your buttons done up and have your booties ready to put on and keep your mouth shut, right?
Take your boots off.
Well, I guess if you're not wearing the boots on the bus, there's no chance of dying, because every cowboy wants to die with its boots on.
Oof.
That's a really poor attempt at being funny, I guess.
Misa thinks that wasn't funny.
Ooh, no, it's not. Oh, back to the talk like Jar Jar Binks Day. Let's see. Am I missing anything? Oh, it is also World Humanitarian Day. So let's remember that rhythm is about connection.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounded profound. Is that profound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I wasn't expecting you to get that profound.
Well, I can surprise you sometimes, I guess, still.
Oh.
Everybody, thanks for hanging out today. I really appreciate it. Let's see. I am getting back to scheduling guests on. I love having guests here. And that's always exciting. It seems like this was a success, having a microphone for the producer, so she could weigh in, and you don't hear this way off in the distance voice, right? And I told Mary last night, I said, you're kind of like my little off-screen sidekick. And she's like, oh, so now I'm a sidekick. Right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I said I need to get a shirt.
You need a shirt that says the sidekick?
Yeah.
What were those shirts that were floating around that said sidekick upgrade? It was like...
That was from Sean's improv.
Was it
Recycled Minds?
Was it Batman and Chewbacca? Is that the picture on
it? It was definitely Chewbacca. I think it might have been Batman.
Batman and Chewbacca. Instead of Batman and Robin, it was Batman and Chewbacca, and it says sidekick upgrade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we still have the shirt somewhere.
Yeah. Richie says, nice job, Fred. Hope you have a great day. Thanks, man. You too. So anyway, we'll be back next Tuesday. It's a surprise for all of us because I don't know what's happening yet. But something will be happening. Will be happening for sure. So now when you're driving around your car today and your blinker's going, you can see if it's in time with the car in front of you or behind you, and you could tap out whatever rhythms pop into your brain at that moment and turn the dashboard into a drum set. No problem with that, right?
Have you ever had the radio going and the blinker lines up with the beat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That has happened occasionally where the blinking relay is in time with what the song is that is on the radio at that moment. And that is always like a little trippy for one, but it's like, this is a cool coincidence, right?
But it seems like it never lasts. It's there for like, a few bars or something, and then it's off again.
Yeah. Yeah. But I work with a metronome all the time because that's the world I live in, where I'm always recording, and that is typically to a click. I have a song to record. Oh, Mark, look what Mark says. Add the wiper timing into the mix. Oh, dude, I'm going to be a complete wreck now when I'm driving. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Now we're going to be anxiously waiting for rain.
The blinker's going to be going, and the windshield wipers is going to be going. The radio's going to be on.
Yeah, can you get the wipers and the blinker to sync up?
Well, so okay, thanks a lot for this, Mark. Is that okay? So if you have the intermittent wipers, like you can set the timing right from either slow to fast.
Yeah.
And so maybe you're messing with that as the wipers are going, and then at the point of which you start, like you flip the switch for the wiper to go, like you could I think you could go completely out of your mind. That's when you're going to be sitting at the stoplight and the guy behind you is going to start honking because you're trying to get all the timing of all of this stuff to work out. Okay, so we talked about the blinkers. Now we're talking about the wipers and the radio. How many people, when you pull up in your driveway, do you shut the car off immediately, or do you wait for the cool song you're listening to finish? Then you shut off the car and go in.
The cool song has to finish.
Cool song has to finish.
Yep.
Yeah. That happens all the time when the producer is driving. It's just like a mandatory thing. You cannot shut the car off in the middle of a song.
Mm-mm.
That's like you can't live your life that way.
No.
You can't be half committed, right? You have to be fully committed. If I'm going to listen to this song, I'm going to listen to the whole song.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I got a question for you, producer. Let's say you pull in the driveway and from like the way that we come down our street, it's almost always a left-hand turn into our driveway. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say 3 houses before the song ends and there's a new one starting as you pull in. Do you still wait?
No.
You can pass on that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because probably I don't want that situation, so I just go ahead and turn off the.
Oh, so you shut it off before?
Yeah. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I think it's too.
So you have a preemptive
early
into the song.
It's more like it's got to be like.
You can't commit to the next 4 minutes of your life.
Keep it going. If it's in the first half of the song, that's just too much time.
It's because you have to go to the bathroom, isn't it?
No, it's just because I don't have the patience.
Hey, Stan's here. He says, my wife listens to several songs before turning off the car.
Oh, there you go.
Now, I know Laura, so I believe that 100%. I believe that 100%. That would be a Laura Latham thing to do. She probably...
Especially if it's Rick Springfield.
Right. And she probably learned it from Stan.
By the way, we started playing Jesse's Girl, so...
Oh, so Lathams are going to be starting to follow Casio Dreams around only for that song. That'll be the thing, right? That will be the thing. All right. Well, I've tried to wrap this up twice, and then somebody will comment like Mark did about the wipers, and then Stan weighing in with like, how many songs can you listen to before you go in?
Yep.
So
well, are you? Yeah. So before you go, Fred,
yes.
you're playing this weekend, right?
I don't believe
Aren't you playing Saturday?
So.
Why did I think you were playing? Maybe I'm thinking of me. I'm playing this weekend.
Yes, I am. Yes. See, this is the problem with I just live my life basically one day at a time.
Are you playing Friday? Is that what it is?
I'm playing Sunday.
Oh, the Rock the River thing.
I believe that I'm playing this Sunday, the 24th, with Cliff Miller at the Rock the River stage, which is just down the green belt from the Sandbar.
Yeah. It's just right there.
That's where I'll be. Yeah. Are you playing gigs too, Mrs. F?
Yeah, we're playing at I think it's called Locking Horns, the Riverside.
Oh, you're going to Horseshoe Bend.
Yeah, along the river. So I'll be playing along the river, and you'll be playing along the river, but two different rivers.
Two different rivers.
Yeah.
Islands in the stream. That's what we are, right?
Oh, wow.
Hey, Blue Flashes says, "Have a great
And sidekick.
I think you meant have a great day, Fred Rock and sidekick.
Yeah.
It could be like me with drumsticks running, and then you're like behind me, but you look like Chewbacca.
Oh, so I'm Harry?
Harry Mary.
Oh, no.
Oh,
all right, you're
good
dead.
grief.
You're
Okay,
dead.
see, I'm going to get hit. Now I'm going to get punched legit. All right, everybody, thank you for hanging out and weighing in. This is fun, and it is pretty entertaining having the sidekick voice available. Oh, that was almost an evil laugh. All right. Okay. Go work out your timing with your windshield wipers and your blinker, and enjoy that last song as you pull into the driveway,
or even a few songs,
just like the Lathams do. That would be that's the thing. That's the challenge. How many songs? How much of your gas can you burn up in your car while you listen to and the entire record of some artist? I don't know. Stan says very cool today. Thanks. Yeah, man. Thanks for watching, Stan. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing great. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Okay, bye.